Hello and welcome back to another video on the TwoTechs channel. Today we're going to be inspecting the front and rear suspension in the Golf GTI. First of all, move the mic. First of all, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting the car in the air, take the wheels off. To remove our rear dampers, what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo my bottom 21mm and my top two 16mm. Just like that, rear dampers removed.
So on the front, all you've got is your 3 top mount bolts, which are underneath your scuttle panel. And then you've also got your bottom pinch bolt and your anti-roll bar to take off as well. So this is an M14 and an 18mm spanner, and all you got to do so now you've got that shock at the hub and it's just stood there. All you got to undo is your top 3 13mm and the shock is free. Get it? Yeah.
And that's the front damper out.
Right, so now we've got the shocks off. We've got the front shocker here and we've got the rear shocker. We've got to take as much data off them as possible so we get the car as spot on as possible when we rebuild it. So what we do is this little drawer in here is we take the measurements from the top to the bottom of the seat spring and we write the measurement down here, and then the gap for the height right down here. This way we know we can put it back 95% as well as it comes back off and get it back to how it was. So the first measurement we're going to take is of the spring, and that sets preload as well. So we're going to measure that, and that's 5. So what we're going to do is write that down here
On his very professional drawing.
On my very professional drawing. Second measurement, we're going to use a vernier, and that's 5. So then we write that one down here. Now we've got our measurements, we can start to disassemble the spring, and you can see all the parts that go into building the strut itself. And the reason we're beeping the measurements is so you bitches can't copy our suspension.
Don't try this at home with any normal suspension.
So now we've got a top mount off. These come with the YellowSpeed coilovers and it's all camber adjustable. Obviously, as you can see, we've got it on the max camber. So next come off, you've got your top cup. Then got a washer with your helper spring. You've then got metal cup, and then you've got your 14 kilogram YellowSpeed bracing spring as well. So as you can see, the shock's all dirty from the season's racing, and all the threads are dirty. So what we're going to do, we're going to clean them all up, make sure it's all sealed, rebuild it back to the same spec it was, and then get it back on the car. One thing we have noticed that fell off, and the adjuster on the bottom is missing. Now I believe this is from when we had an accident at Brands Hatch, so you should have a little adjuster knob on the bottom there, which looks, we haven't got one, nowhere near. Looks very similar to this, but this is just a different type, so we need to send that back to YellowSpeed or just order another one.
So while Rye's taking apart the rear suspension, what I'm going to be doing is cleaning up the front suspension. I'm going to be using Solution 61's own products and just a little brush to get in between the threads and make sure everything's nice and clean, ready to go back on. Right, so now I've got the suspension nice and clean. Well, as best as it's going to be. Much better than it was. We're going to start putting it back together. Starting with our rubber seal, rubber washer, then your metal washer on top of that. Then you want to put your spring over the top. You want to make sure you can read the writing. So you put it around that way. Then you put another metal washer on top of that. Then our little helper spring. Then another rubber washer on top of that. As you can see, it'll slot into the spring, just like that. Next piece is this. I'm going to slide that on top. Then top hat, like that. And our nut on top.
And then we've got to torque it to spec.
Just like the professionals do. Our correct tools.
Yay! Right, so we're going to start stripping these. Same basically style. Your adjusters up the bottom here. So you can go harder or softer. I can't tell you which way we go. So we're going to start stripping these down.
A few moments later.
My arm makes that much. Oh. Poor little thing. Luckily, Jay's here to clean it, so it will look really nice. Won't it, JJ?
Always.
Then...
Don't trust me to rebuild them.
I'd trust you to rebuild them.
Yeah?
I'd just check them over after.
Yeah, 10 times.
10 times.
If only taking the top was that easy.
My arm's ache, so I've passed it over to Jay. Once you get the tension off the spring up, we're right. Look at that.
I was on a roll.
Don't drop it. Oh. Right, so after that you can take your spring off. Yep.
Ow.
Don't get your finger caught. Your little spacer.
Just take the boot off, I suppose.
You can't, can you?
Oh yeah, of course not. Need a bit of lube. No one's ever complained about a bit of lube.
I'm not going to be vulgar and comment on that. I know someone who watches the channel that I'd love to comment about.
I'm sure there's plenty of people who watch the channel that I'd love to comment on it.
And there we have one damper all on its own.
About 5 minutes ago, I was playing with it, moving the boot up and down, and a good 5 or 6 stones had come out.
Yeah, there's some rubber.
And a bit of rubber. Bit of lube and some rubber.
What more do you want? Now we get cleaning.
We.
How you getting on, Jay?
Right. Finished cleaning the actual shock. Now I'm redoing the bits that you cleaned because it was shocking.
Right, start building the puzzle then, Jay. Which bit goes on first? Did you lay them out in a nice, neat order?
Well, I did, but they've been picked up and cleaned. Right, first things first, you want to grab your plastic washer.
Wrong.
First things first, you want to grab your metal washer.
Wrong.
First things first, you want to grab this. No.
Wrong.
First things first, you want to grab your spring.
No. I mean, you're running out of bits. You've got one bit left.
That.
What's that?
The helper spring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first things first, you want to grab your helper spring. That rise that is shocking job.
No, that's where the paints come off.
Yeah, whatever. Right. You want to slide your spring over it.
What's it?
The shock, damper, whatever you want to call it.
I don't know if there is actually a thing on top.
Then, yeah. I'm sure that goes on top.
Maybe.
That don't look right. No, it's definitely not right. We're going to have to refer back to the videos. Right, we're going back to the start.
Sorry, Jay.
The plastic washer goes first, exactly like I said.
I was just testing you.
Just like that. Then you put your helper spring on.
What does your helper spring do?
Helps the spring. Then,
how does it help the spring, Jay?
don't know, it's a good mate to it. And
So the reason you have a helper spring is to stop your suspension droop. So say if I didn't have that, my spring would be floating around. When I went over curbs and stuff, it would just wobble around. So your helper spring, all it does is help your spring stay in place, so you don't dislodge it and damage your spring.
that is exactly what I was going to say. Right, spring on. You want to get so you can read the writing again, same as the other one, which is that way, because that's the bottom of the shock.
Correct.
Just like that.
What's this 12 mean?
Don't know.
12 kilogram.
12 kilogram. The rears are 12 kilogram springs. What were the fronts? I said it earlier on in the video, so make sure you're paying attention. After this,
Surely they could just rewind them.
no, that's cheating, isn't it?
Don't cheat, guys. Leave a comment.
Metal washer next, just like that. Then goes this one.
What I would do,
And what you do is
I'll just check that fits that. I don't think that's right, JJ. I think you went wrong again. Where's that washer go? That metal one, in between the two.
the two of them,
No.
and in between the spring. Are you even filming out?
Yeah.
Yeah. In between the spring.
In springs.
Between the two springs. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Springs.
So before you put your spring on the correct way.
So if you remember me asking earlier whether I'd be confident in JJ rebuilding suspension, turns out I wouldn't.
Still let me do it, though.
Yeah, I'll let you do it. I will check it though. I don't need to because we can see you doing a really good job.
Ow. That hurts.
And this does go to show that literally anyone can rebuild a race car.
That would be horrible.
I'm not being horrible, but it's not hard, is it?
No. Which one is it first? Just tell me. Don't make me fucking.
The big one.
That way.
No. That way. So then that's basically another seat for the spring then. When you tighten these lockers up. Ow. And you tighten these lockers up. Then we've got to get another locker.
And where are we going to find that?
In the toolbox. It gets quite scary. Right, so now we've got the shocks rebuilt. We're not in no way saying this is how exactly you do it. This is how we do it. Works for us. Help us bring it at the top. Some people say put it at the bottom. Some people say put it at the top. Works for us at the top. Looks nice and neat. It's out of the way. You then got, like I say, your camber adjusters. We are maxed out, but I think due to an accident in the year, the subframe moved slightly, but that's how we've run it at the minute. And these, like I say, are your adjusters. So YellowSpeed, these are 33 way adjusters. And every part on YellowSpeed is available. So if you do damage it, if you need a new spring, you can buy just a spring, you can buy a helper spring, you can buy a top mount, you can buy spacers. Every part of this shock is available as a single piece. So if you do damage it, it makes it a bit more affordable for a club racer. These are also over half the price of the major competitors. So really, really, really good value for money, and we come second in the championship, so it speaks itself. How easy is that?
Very.
You just need your little collet things. Rear shot. And then bolt in. Always starting by hand.
Time to get the front suspension back in. I'm going to go up, pass it up to right so I can thread the nuts on the top.
Just like that. Sim.
Now I'll put the bottom end in.
And the jack needs to go under it.
Get the jack then.
Then all you got to do, use a little jack, push your hub up, get your little bolt in. Thread your nut on. Get your 18mm and your M14. It's about 12 auger duggers. It should be a eat. So that was a short overhaul on the suspension, as well as obviously all the suspension adjustments we can do. We do the cambers and toe, so the rear toe we toe out and the front we toe out a little bit. Cambers, the maximum we can run on the front is 3.5 degrees, maximum on the rear is 2.5, so we run close to but not up to that. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the suspension video.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching again.
Yeah, thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, do all that jazz. It helps us out, keeps us going, keeps us motivated.
It does.
And yeah, hopefully we can bring some more videos.
Tell your mum, tell your nan, tell your dog, tell your sister, auntie, all your family. TwoTechs are here. I'm taking over.
Are we?
Yeah, I probably won't put that bit in.